today we're looking at Doodle, and Doodle is a very straightforward polling tool. It was designed to help people set up calendar appointments, but it now also offers a simple survey tool. So let me get into the package. So I'm just going to do a simple Google search. And then I'm going to go to the organisation's main page. And you can see it comes up with a fairly straightforward page to let you start a free trial. You do need an account, so you may have to sign up for one. But I've already got an account, so I'm just going to log in. It's a fairly simple account system. It just requires your email and a password. So you can see here I've already made a number of polls, and we'll come back and look at some of those shortly. But let's get on with creating a poll. So calendars are something that students are likely to get involved in, setting up calendar appointments in a work-based environment. So it's really good for digital skills for work. Now, you can see here I've got 4 options. I can link Doodle to my calendar, and then it will let me book one-to-one appointments, or it will let me allow people to book straight into my diary. Now, I haven't set this up with my calendar, and I guess if you're working on this with students, you probably don't want to do that. You want to keep it in a nice controlled environment in the classroom. If you sign up to your calendar, then obviously it gives Doodle access to your calendar, and you might want to think through the consequences of that. Or if when you come to this page, you go for those options, you can talk to your students about what that means and who they're sharing information with. But for now, I'm going to look at the group poll, and then I'll look at the survey afterwards. So group poll lets me set up a number of potential appointments and send a link out for people to choose which one works best. So in this example, I'm going to be setting up a project team meeting. So I just give it a title. And this might be our inception meeting. I can say where the meeting is going to be. In this case, I'm going to do it online. So I'm just going to choose it from there. I could put a note if I liked. It's completely optional. So I'm just going to put here our first team meeting. Let me know which date suits you. Okay. So very simple, form-driven approach. Now, again, it's reminded me I can connect it to my calendar. I'm not going to, so I'm going to say I'll do that later on. And I can either look at potential dates on a week basis or on a month basis. So I'm going to go to a month basis, and I want to set up my meeting to happen in October. And our meeting day is a Monday, so I'm going to give people 3 options, and the latest I want to have this meeting is on the 18th, and then I can add in a time. So I want my meeting to be at 11 a.m. Click the done button, and then I can put an end time. It's going to make me some suggestions. I'm going to say this meeting is going to be an hour long, and I could, if I wish, set different times for each of the days, and then it will give me a drop down, and I could set completely different times. So let's make this one 10 o'clock, and we'll make this one 9 o'clock. So you'll notice that it didn't automatically, or it has automatically made it an hour long, so it's followed the same model. And now I just click the continue button, and I get some options about how people can respond to the survey. So if it doesn't work for them, they can say, no, it doesn't work for me, I need a different option. I can let people vote once or more than once, or I can perhaps offer, if I'm offering appointments, I can do them on a first come, first served basis. So I want people to choose whichever option suits them best, and I'm going to let them vote more than once. I'm going to leave that blank. and then I can hide from everybody I send the survey to, everybody else's response, or I can leave them visible. So in this case, I'm going to hide them. Now, I haven't got the premium version, so these options are not available to me. And then just off the screen, unfortunately, there's a finish button. So I'm going to click the finish button. Then it brings me to this page, and I can decide from this page how to invite people. So I can enter email addresses, and I could do that one at a time, or I can get a share link. In this case, I'm going to get a share link, and then I can go to my personal email or my work email address, and I can send out an email and just copy this link into it. Or I could copy the link into an online conference tool and copy it into the chat area. So in this case, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to send out individual emails. So at that point, I finished my survey. And if I just scroll down the page, you can see what it's going to look like to each of the participants that receives the link. So they'll get a link in an email, they'll click on the link, and then they'll be able to see the poll, and they'll be able to respond to it. So I set the meeting up. As it happens, I can attend all 3 times. So I put my times in, and I press send. If this was one of my participants, they'd get a blank box, they could type their name in, and then they tick which of the meeting times suits them. And then if I click send, it sends that back to me, and I've got an email alert set up, and so it will send me an email alert to tell me that that has been responded to. Now we've got a couple of other options up here. I can edit. That will take me straight back into the tool and do all the things I've just demonstrated. And I've got a more option. So some things I can only do with a premium. So it will let me send a reminder and send a message. If everybody's responded to the survey, it will let me choose a final option. And it will suggest to me the best option for my meeting. And I can export my results either as a PDF or an Excel document, or I can print it. And then if I wanted to reuse this survey, it will let me duplicate the poll. I could use the same poll again, just deleting all the participants, or I could delete the poll. Now, let's have a look at some polls that have been responded to. So I'm going to do that by going back to my dashboard. So it's just going to reload. You can see here's the poll that we've just created. But I've got here a poll that I've used earlier on, and I've got this EDS project meeting poll. So it's just going to load, and you can see here are the responses I've received so far. So I've got 5 participants it's gone to, and everybody has selected something different. Now, I could, if I wanted to, unsubscribe from updates. Actually, every time somebody responds to the poll, it sends me an email message, which may or may not be useful to you. But you can see here, I've now got this choose final option. So it will look at the poll and make a suggestion to me as to what the best day for my meeting is. So let's just click on that. And you can see it's highlighted that most people can come on Tuesday the 5th of October. But I can see straight away if I go for that, Lisa Clark can't come, and then I can make a decision about how important it is she attends, whether I can send her the minutes of the meeting, whether it's an online meeting, I might record it and send it to her later. So you can help your students understand some of the other options that they might need to think through as part of a transaction. So I'm going to select that one, and I'm just going to click on Done. And if I got this signed up to my email system on my calendar, it would automatically send out a final invitation to everybody. I haven't, so I would need to put the email addresses in individually. I can type a message, or I could go out to my email system and do it via my email system. And then if I come down to the bottom, you can see I've just got a reminder of what I selected and who was involved. Now, I just want to go back up to the More tools. If I go to More, I could extract for me as a PDF, and you can see I've got a summary of the information that I went out if I needed to keep that offline. So let's go back to my dashboard. So I've created another poll here, and we'll look at this one. And I will share this poll with you after this short demonstration. So what I've done here is I've created a poll. Instead of putting in dates, I've put in text-based questions. And I've just simply asked, what is your favourite polling software? And let's just have a look at this. If we go into the edit mode, you can see I've literally go through the same 4 steps, but I've put what is your favourite polling software. If we continue, I can then select a text option instead of a date option, and then I can type in the answers that I'm offering you. And if I continue, offers me the same opportunity to make some options on the screen. So I'll take that off. I'm going to make it hidden so it becomes anonymous and everybody won't be able to see. And I'm going to let participants vote just once. And if I come back down the screen, those are my options if I've got the premium version. I don't. I'm just going to click continue. And then I'm putting in my name and my email address. So if I was using the automated system, that would send out that information. So you can see that Doodle is quite a simple to use tool. It's very useful to introduce students to the idea of polling. As it's a free tool, you can bring students to it and they can create polls of their own, just like they are in the workplace, and then you can send it out and they can respond. Now, depending on whether you're doing entry or level 1 will depend how you want to do this. You might just want students to respond to a poll, or you might want students to create polls. But you can also use it in your own teaching, and you can make up a whole variety of different text-based questions. But if you want to use it in your teaching, there are lots of much more effective tools that offer a range of other facilities, so like picture questions, or you might want to use something like Kahoot, which puts a time response on it and will let you run the poll instantaneously in the session and give a little countdown on the screen, as well as playing some different music. So I'm going to end this recording here. So thank you for joining us for today's session, and perhaps you'll join us in our next Exploring Tools session in a fortnight's time.